Hello, ladies and Gen X and millennials who still think that burger restaurants are still a thing in 2025. I'm turning in a new gym now, and I decided to pick up the occasion and showcase a bit of what I'm doing with back training right now. Also, because I have a few new objectives for this year. I'm currently cutting, so a lot of the volume was cut off. And I also had to take a flight shortly after filming this workout. So a lot of the things that I may have been doing are not exactly what I'm doing right now. I'm also gonna get into it, but for the most part is a bit close to everything that is in the routine now. We started off with this amazing deadlift machine from Technogym. It's actually from the Pure Strength line, I believe. And it also has this nice band pins. So I've added my Rogue mini green bands to add 20 kilos approximately in tension at the top. And I started working my way to a set with 4 plates. Now, this was a warm up. It's not close to what I've been deadlifting over the years. And it was just to warm up the whole scapular region, sort of say. So it wasn't meant to be super duper heavy nor to full failure. However, most of the working sets were pretty nice and the pump started off really quickly. That's what I love and enjoy about this machine. It's not anything fancy, but it does the job. And it also has an interesting pad to do lunges or Bulgarian split squats, to which you can also add bands if you really want to fry your legs for days on end. And then basically we moved on to the main thing. The main course of the menu was the vertical pull down machine from Technogym. This one is probably one of my favorite machines ever. I know that there are some better things out there, but I love this one because it took my weighted pull-ups really further. Now I can do 2 plates, 4 reps with a wideish grip, which is one of my objectives this year, to take that 2 plate weighted pull-up to 3 plates. And I know that to do that, I have to make certain things better. I have to perfect certain parts of the movement. And this machine allows you to do that tremendously. It takes away any oscillation. It doesn't allow you to use your body weight in a oscillating manner to take the weight up. This is crucial because the more movement there is when you're doing a weighted pull-up, the less is going to go further. You really have to master technique. And also, the second point is that, again, I can add bands, which train the lockout tremendously. And they allow you to fully understand lat activation and how to avoid pulling everything with your arms, which is what I see most people doing. I've used this one for 3 sets and I've tried to add a little bit more weight than usual. My best numbers or feats were with 3 to 4 plates, but when you reach such level, you need a counterweight, especially if you are not built like Andrei Smaev, or if you are a lighter person in terms of your body weight. So the negative returns become so big that it outweighs the benefits that you can get out of it. I cannot really go that heavy, and because of this, later I switched to weighted pull-ups with a plate and a band. The reason for it is simple. The setup with bands only works tremendously and it trains the movement a lot and the lockout too. But because you don't have the plate, there's something different going on in terms of the technique. Usually you would hold the plates with your foots and your legs so that you can be much more perfect with your technique. And again, just avoid unnecessary movements and oscillations. But you cannot do that if you have bands only. So now I'm basically doing weighted pull-ups with both bands and plates, and I'm alternating them with standard weighted pull-ups and also this vertical pull down machine, which I think it's very efficient. And sometimes it takes away the burden of just solely doing weighted pull-ups. After that, we moved to the fake Nautilus pullover machine. That's the only way I can call it, because for a certain reason, the machine could not be 100% as the Nautilus pullover. And so the guys at Gym80 probably decided to double the project, because a lot of people pointed out, even in my shorts about this machine, that it looks like as if it was made for Thanos. I have to say that they are right. I've tried to fit the cameraman into the machine. The guy is super duper tall, and yet he couldn't really get the benefits of this machine, which I believe you can get by using a supinated grip. Now, on the real Nautilus pullover, the one that even Dorian Yates used and even Nick Walker during the prep, you can lay your elbows on the pads and you can just focus on not using your grip and fully torching the lats. But on this one, you can't really do that. So I found that the best way is using the straps as cuffs or using a supinated grip and really going to almost full failure, where you would do even lengthened partials, the ones loved by scientists, and that's about it. I've basically done 3 to 4 sets. I've basically loaded only 20 kilos because this one is truly brutal. This machine is the one if you really want a wide back and if you want to really build your lats. If by any chance your gym has something that comes close to the Nautilus pullover, go to that gym. I've also tried recently to add bands to this machine with a daisy chain and 2 bands setup for each side of the machine, and it worked really well and was really nice, but I believe it's a bit of an overkill, and just adding plates is enough to really torch the lats, but it was a nice variant. That said, we moved on to trying different rowing machines because the chest supported T-bar row that I usually use was unfortunately full of people that were quote unquote training. They were scrolling through their phones and watching memes. I decided to try some new stuff rather than wasting time. And this is what happens when the gym is really crowded. So we went to the outdoor section and we tried this multi-function machine from Gym80. I've done rounded back rows to stretch the lats even further. I just think that this one is truly interesting. The arms of the machine really move well and can sort out different angles. It's really good to work different sections of the back or even do something like RDLs to not use dumbbells if you're going really heavy. And I just pumped my back for 2 sets and that was about it. I still think that for the upper back work, the chest supported machines are still the GOATs. But if you're really looking into strengthening your back and building more the lats, I think that rounded back work is something else that you can throw into the mix and will really help you out. It even helped me get over a back injury that I had long ago when I was training for Olympic weightlifting. I had 2 disc bulges, and I think that Jefferson curls and rounded back work really strengthened even more my back and helped me get over that injury. That's probably why I have two columns in the middle of my back, or two pipes, as people like to call them. And I think that if you really want to have that back density, that look, you need to be doing stuff like this, even though it looks really odd, and foreign police will always be around the corner telling you that you are doing something wrong. But in reality, it does a lot for your back density and your spinal erectors. Afterwards, we moved to different chest supported rows because the T-bar row was unfortunately again full of people. So we did the machine outside, mainly for the upper back, with a pronated grip, and then we moved on to the Technogym Pure Strength chest supported row. This has nothing really fancy, but it's a really great machine. Often people will regard it as a mid-tier, but I think this one is truly awesome. We mainly did that to pump a bit the rear delts and the traps too, and the old upper back area, but that was the workout. Pretty simple, straightforward, 2-3 sets, 4 for some exercises, and that was about it. Thanks for watching. Like, share, comment, and subscribe to the channel. It really helps me out in keeping this thing going, and see you soon.